It's been said people come into our lives for a reason. The same can be said for our horses. This is the story of two horses, both American saddlebreds, both champions, both world champions, both national champions. But that is where the similarities end. One is 5-gated, one 3-gated. One golden chestnut and one liver chestnut. One charming and playful, one brooding and thoughtful. One joyful, one powerful. Tonight we honor the careers of two of the great American saddlebreds, Champion I'm Something Wicked and Champion Let's Talk. Two grand horses who came into the life of one young woman in 2011. This is the story of a journey with two parallel paths that intertwine to help McGee Bosworth realize her American saddlebred dreams. Because this is the story of two amazing teachers, Wicked and Big T. Wicked taught the joys of showmanship. With his happy demeanor and incredible athleticism, Wicked could and would go anywhere in the ring. Every day, just like every other day, a delight. Always ready to work, always ready to show. Consistency. That's Wicked. Big T taught the discipline of horsemanship. With T, you never knew what you were going to get. With a quirky, apprehensive outlook, T brought the hard lessons of true horsemanship. You always had to pay attention. Every class, every ride, every time. The lesson was never over. High drama. That's Big T. Both had been supremely successful before ever becoming the next door neighbors at High Caliber Stables in late 2011. So the 2012 season brought two incredible horses, I'm Something Wicked and Let's Talk. One determined girl, McGee Bosworth. Two patient trainers, Mary and Evan Orr. One loving caretaker, Pablo Guido. And one talented farrier, Gordon Ingram. Showmanship and horsemanship. Wicked and Big T. The cornerstones of the saddle seat experience. Lessons to be learned. The lessons started immediately. In their first show together, a powerful Big T, who had never been shown by anyone other than one great trainer, Dina Lopez, almost threw his young rider over the wall in Raleigh. But these two grand horses tended to balance each other out as Wicked swept the juvenile 5-gated classes at that show. With every challenge, there was success to balance. Later that year, at Lexington Junior League, Wicked returned for the first time since 2006, when he had announced his arrival with a blue ribbon in the junior 5-gated class with Joe Elam. The long straightaways of the Great Red Mile were Wicked's favorite. In 12 trips there, Wicked and McGee never finished lower than reserve, including an incredible 8 wins in a row from 2014 through 2017. But Lexington brought lessons from Let's Talk again that year.
We had some trouble with him cantering. He was big and powerful, and going up to the horse show, we had trouble with him cantering.
Yeah.
And it was a big point in my career where I didn't know the answer. And so I called Dina Lopez, and she stepped up and she helped myself and McGee, and we together trained with Dina to figure out and learn her way of how she cantered Let's Talk.
Yeah, I've never cantered around so many trash cans in my life. And I've never had a horse that I rode so many times before I went into the arena. I mean, we went to Dina's like every morning.
Yep.
For the entire week before we showed him, and it was the first time that it was a completely new style of riding, something it wasn't anything I'd ever known before, done before, so it was definitely a big learning curve.
Lows coupled with highs. Later that year, at the World Championship Horse Show, the truly memorable happened. Wicked and McGee put on a show to win one of the extremely competitive qualifiers in the Junior Exhibitor 5-gated division and finished reserve in the championship with beautiful, joyful rides that brought Wicked's skills of showmanship to full view. But it was up to Let's Talk to provide the drama. We'll let the participants tell the story.
McGee stayed back at the barn, and we were walking up, and I knew things weren't right.
Yeah, I'm very much a creature of habit, and I'm very specific about how I get ready to show. I never stay back at the barn. I'm often the first one to leave. Actually, after I get ready, I come to the show ready, everything, and I did everything differently.
And we were walking down the chute, and I could hear McGee almost wheezing.
Yeah.
And Evan didn't know what was going on because I was very in tune with McGee and Big T, and I knew she wasn't okay. And I had to make a call. And I knew that physically and emotionally it wasn't going to be a good decision.
Yeah.
And I stepped up and said that it wasn't going to work for you to ride the horse.
Yeah.
And then panic set in on what we were going to do.
Yeah.
And I tried to get a hold of Julie, and kind of got a hold of Julie. And I kept yelling we needed a rider. And Tammy DeVore said, I've got one. And by God, we put her in the ring, and she followed the rules, and it was all in 5 minutes. I don't think she even knew who she was riding at the time, right?
No, yeah.
And
it got to the end, and she was like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
who is this?
Yeah, and she ended up winning the class.
Unforgettable stories, improbable outcomes. 2013 brought more of the same. Reserves at Louisville and Lexington for Wicked, paired with a sweep of the Junior Exhibitor 5-gated classes at the American Royal. But it was at the Royal that year that brought another bit of memorable drama for Let's Talk.
In 2013, it wasn't our best season out of all of them. We got to the Royal and we were like, you know, we really wanted to have a good class, lay it down at the end of the season. And it was a really, really competitive year. There were some really nice horses in Junior Exhibitor Park. And T and I got called to be in a workout with Hunter Chancellor and I'm McDreamy, and it was one of those situations. Yeah, it was one of those situations that, like, I had no idea that that was me or that was my number, or, and I knew we'd had a good ride, but I know how amazing of a rider Hunter is and how great of a horse I'm McDreamy was, and so I had no expectations other than to lay it down, and he put on a show in that workout, and they called him the winner, and that was probably one of my favorite and most loved memories that I have of that horse and us and all of it.
It is a unanimous decision. It's McGee. 248 is the champion.
Storybook endings, new beginnings. 2014 was McGee's final as a junior exhibitor. It was a great year with Big T winning at the Royal, Asheville Lions Club, Midwest, as well as reserves at Lexington. But this was the year of I'm Something Wicked. On their way to an incredible 15 wins in 16 classes, Wicked and McGee swept Lexington, Louisville, and Kansas City. A Triple Crown season on their way to the 2014 UPHA Junior Exhibitor 5-gated Show Pleasure Horse of the Year.
Wicked is joyful.
He is a shoulder to lean on all of the time. He is your consistent best friend.
And he's good or great. And he never, and that season, she showed him well, and then she showed him better, and showed him better. And every time McGee stepped up, he stepped up with you. And I have never had a horse that I don't think there was ever a show he didn't show up.
No, he exceeded any and all expectations every time he went into the ring, and 2014 was just, he's a blessing and
magical.
Yeah.
It was magical.
2015 was a year of change as McGee transitioned to the amateur ranks with her trusty friends. Wicked kept up his string of wins at the Red Mile in Midwest and reserves at Kansas City. McGee rode Big T to wins at Midwest, Big T's favorite, where he and McGee took 5 wins in 6 classes over the years, as well as reserves at Lexington and Kansas City. But Mary Orr took the reins on the big man in Louisville in 2015 as McGee was off to college.
The thing about that was it was a very transitional year, and you were going to college, and we'd had him for a while, and we'd had great success with him, and we decided to take him, and I showed him in the first class, and I was second, and I was proud of him. It was fun. I felt like it was a wonderful opportunity. I got ready to go back in the championship, and Alan Bosworth looked at me, and he said, "He's my horse. He's going to be my horse at the end of the class. Go out and have fun." I didn't even think about winning, and by God, when they called their number, I thought I was going to fall off the horse.
And so it went, on and on. 2016, 2017, 2018. Another UPHA Horse of the Year award for Wicked in 2017. More Midwest wins for T. More Lexington victory passes for Wicked. World Championship reserves for T. World Championship wins for Wicked. Amy Poehler once said, "Find a group of friends who challenge and inspire you. Spend a lot of time with them, and they will change your life." And so it is with Wicked and Big T. McGee and Mary. Challenging, inspiring, life-changing friends. Together the lessons were taught. Together the lessons were learned. Showmanship and horsemanship. I'm something wicked, and let's talk. Together, brothers. Just as they came in together, tonight they go out together. Please welcome, for the final time on the green shavings of Louisville, World Champion of Champions, Champion I'm Something Wicked, and McGee Bosworth. World Champion of Champions, Champion Let's Talk, and Mary Markham Orr. Wicked and Big T, McGee and Mary. It is as it was meant to be, together.